Super 이끌림 push and pull 전속력으로 너에게 crash in the chemistry는 과몰입해 지금 You're my crush, you're my crush simple 내게 집중 후회는 analyze Never holding back 직진해 yeah This time I want you like it's magnetic Super 이끌림 like it's magnetic Super 이끌림 like it's magnetic Baby don't say no
Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong hipilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews at noon. It is now 12:01 p.m. This is Karen for koolNews at noon. You are listening to us right here on Kool FM Nationwide and News Radio 93.1. Before we get into the national headlines, we will be getting into the U.S. election updates as of this time. So, taking a look at how's the results right now, we can see we have looking at the NBC News election results, we have 158 of Republican states overtaking the Democrats with 103. That is Democrat seats, and so far Donald Trump is leading the race with the 214 votes compared to Harris, which is 145. Meanwhile, for the president in the poll, you see that we have 52.5% with Yap, and then 46.1% for Harris. So yeah, the total votes we have for Trump is 49,963,793, while Harris is 43 million. So that's the we have war here. So we have governor counts. We have Republicans overtaking Democrats, which is 6 counts so far, while the on-call race is 3. And for the Senate tonight, we have the 10 Republican votes, while Democrats have 8, and independent is 1 vote. And on-call race have 15 votes. So that's the latest election results as of this time. Now let's get into the national headlines. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Wednesday personally handed cash assistance to members of the agriculture sector affected by severe tropical storm Christine, or Trami, which is the international name, at the Cavite complex. A total of 10,000 farmers and fisherfolk from Camarines and Apar provinces each received 10,000 pesos in aid. I am personally here to extend assistance to those who were heavily affected by Christine. This aid comes directly from the Office of the President. I hope this support will help you gain the strength to rebuild, said President Marcos. The president also announced a 50 million peso fund through the Department of Social Welfare and Development to meet the needs of affected communities. We are committed to restoring normal conditions as soon as possible, including rebuilding damaged infrastructure, roads, and livelihoods, he emphasized. After the distribution and coming resort, President Marcos proceeded to the Albay Astrodome to give cash assistance to other fishers and farmers there. Kristen hit Bicol on October 22 to 23, causing widespread floods and landslides, leaving more than 20 people dead. A town usually frequented by typhoons is bound to find some form of relief. The town of Tacubig in North Samar has been the subject of a study aimed at minimizing flooding in many areas of the municipality. John Allen Bourbon, chief of the Provincial Economic Development and Investment Promotions Office, said the integrated flood management project is intended to be implemented across the province. However, Katubig has been identified as a primary area of focus due to high flood risk from the Tacubig River, the largest in the province, he said in an interview on November 1st. The town is a critical economic hub, serving as Northern Samar's rice gunnery, and agriculture here is often the most hard hit during calamities, Bourbon added. When severe tropical storm Christine hit the province last month, the flood water level in Katubig, particularly in the town center, reached up to 4.35 meters as reported by its Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. Bourbon explained that the Memorandum of Understanding MOU signed in March 2024 between Northern Samar Governor Edwin Ongchuan and the Kehong Ho Engineering and Kailang Co Ltd set in motion the pre-master plan study held on October 28 led by Vice Governor Clarence Dotto and representatives of the South Korean firm. The meeting involved the assessment of flood infrastructure, river water flow, high rite impacts, and other critical aspects affecting flood levels. Bourbon said the financial aspect of the project, however, had not yet been discussed. He said the provincial government would request for funding from the national government once the study is finished. One of their main objectives is a projected reduction of flood levels in Katubig by an initial target of 0.45 meters. Additional proposals include the construction of a glass gate at the Katubig River Seturi and a multi-purpose dam which could not only aid flood management but also enhance water storage for agriculture and electricity production. Bourbon said the project's overall aim is to help Northern Samar's agricultural communities against flooding, particularly in key areas like Katubig. This project aligns with Governor Ong Chuan's goal to create a safer and more resilient future for the Norte Hanon community, he said. And the Philippines is building new dockyards and shipyards to service its newly acquired naval vessels to be delivered within the next 3 years, Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto Territorio Jr. said on Tuesday. We are investing in creating new dockyards and shipyards that are operationally secure, particularly in the West Philippine Sea, Territorio said in his talks at the Philippine Strategic Outlook 2024 Onwards, National Security and Economic Resilience Forum at the Ateneo de Manila University. We have 10 naval vessels arriving without any dockyard to put them in, so I'm catching up to create new facilities for the capabilities that were ordered before, and for the capabilities that we will need, he added. Teodoro was referring to the 2 missile corvettes and 6 offshore patrol vessels being built by defense contractor HD Hyundai Heavy Industries in South Korea and 2 landing docks by shipbuilder PT PAL in Indonesia. The building of dockyards and shipyards is necessary for secure and dedicated defense infrastructures and capabilities, he said. We will also need to re-engineer the design of our structures, he added. The move comes under the Self-Reliant Defense Posture Revitalization Act to develop the country's defense industry by creating ways to boost the local production of defense equipment. Teodoro said it is essential to the modernization efforts which focus on command and control, deterrence capabilities, and interoperability. The law is seen to complement the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept, an initiative to enhance maritime security and the defense posture of the country amid Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea. Now let's get back into the U.S. election updates here. So we have Donald Trump leading with 214 votes. I repeat, Donald Trump is leading with 214 votes, and the total votes is 51,466,225, if I am not mistaken. So for the Senate seats, we have 48, which are the Republican seats dominating. For the House seats, we have 161 House Republican seats so far. And for the look of the U.S. states, so far, majority of them are Trump, while few of them are Harris. For the president, for the leading county, we have 52.3%, 46.2% for Harris. So that's the latest election updates we can give you right now. First, this is coming from NBC News as you are seeing it on the screen. It's now 12:10 in the afternoon, and koolNews at noon will be right back. Stick around.
You're listening to Cool FM.
#1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide ba?
Fuji Denso believes that appliances are long-term investments, so it is very important to choose wisely. And what could be a wiser choice than using reliable, durable, and energy-saving appliances from Fuji Denso? Just like families and companies trusting Fuji Denso, you will see the difference when you upgrade your usual appliances to Fuji Denso HD inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all. Upgrade your home, upgrade your business with Fuji Denso, quality above all.
Takbo na sa pinakamalapit na Home Along. Cash in or installment, pwede dito. Get a chance to win your dream motorcycle. Purchase any Prestige, Round, and Sakura appliances, and for every 3,000 pesos single receipt, you are entitled for one raffle ticket, making lives better at Home Along. Promo runs to March 31, 2025. Kaya sa Home Along, para na!
Mayong adlaw sa atong tanan, among gipaila-ila kaninyo ang Magnum C Herbal Capsule. Tungod sa mga sangkap diini, ang Magnum C Herbal Capsule maayo sa mga taong daling hangakon, kulang sa resistensya o daling magkasakit, maayo sa kinis sa mga nabughat o bina na pasmo sa kusog, lipong-lipong tungod sa anemia ug daghan pang mga balatian. Magnum C Herbal Capsule ay available na sa tanang butika, pharmacy sa inyong mga lugar. Magnum C Herbal Capsule, the most trusted by seniors.
Ang Chicken Joy is na
Ang pinakamasarap, bigger na.
best tasting na, our biggest pa. Ito ang Chicken Joy, yes, best tasting na, our biggest pa. Ito ang Chicken Joy, yes.
Starts at 82 pesos pa rin. Price varies. Bigger claim is versus previous size. Best tasting claim is based on quantitative brand and product imagery study conducted by SCMI last November 2023.
Hard to pronounce, but easy to transact.
Ay, padala ko na lang sa sa Imlolilin.
Nahihirapan ka rin bang bigkasin ang brand name ng M. Lulier? English speakers commonly pronounce it as Lulier. But for Filipinos, mas madaling ibigkas ang Luilier. Pwede rin gamitin ang initials na ML, which stands for M. Lulier. Pero kahit anong pronunciation pa man yan, lahat pwede. Sa M. Lulier, mahirap man bigkasin, mabilis, at madali naman ang bawat transaksyon. Walang cheche-boreche.
Mapagpasalamat. Katangiang Pilipino mula sa puso. Pagpapamalas ng pagmamahal ng Diyos sa ating lahat. Isang pagpapahalaga sa mga kabutihan at tulong na natanggap sa ating buhay.
Salamat po.
Sa lahat ng mga bagay, magpasalamat kayo. Unang Tesalonica 5:18. Mapagpasalamat. Ikaw ay M-Extraordinary Pinoy. Brought to you by MX3 Coffee and Tea.
Eliza Valdez po, may bago sa paborito nating Milo. Mas pinamilo. Milkier. Kaya mas masarap versus previous formulation.
Mas pinasarap nga. Talagang, mas pinamino. Totoong, milkier.
Masarap para marawin. Try the new, more delicious Milo. Bili na sa inyong suking tindahan.
Kapag edad 50 pataas, pansin mo na ang pagbabago at pagbagal ng katawan. Maaring makaranas ng alta presyon, high blood sugar at paghina ng memorya. Makakatulong ang pag-inom ng Centrum Silver Advance araw-araw kasabay ng tamang pagkain at exercise. Ang Centrum Silver Advance ay may nutrients na in-adjust ang level para sa edad 50 pataas. Tulong suporta sa puso at normal na blood pressure at blood sugar. Napatunayan din na nakakatulong itong ma-improve ang memory habang tumatanda. Alagaan ang katawan with Centrum Silver Advance. This has been Medifacts for Centrum. Multivitamins plus minerals is the generic name of Centrum Silver Advance. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Uy, ano raw yun? Kaya raw nilang ayusin yung PhilHealth registration mo? Pero may bayad? Nako, huwag kang maniwala dyan. Fixer yan. Hindi ka sigurado dyan. Huwag magpapaloko sa Fixer. Huwag basta ipagkatiwala ang personal mong impormasyon. Makipag-transact sa pinakamalapit na PhilHealth office para sa registration, updating at pagbabayad ng inyong contributions. Bumisita sa www.philhealth.gov.ph para hindi mabiktima ng scammer.
Get supercharged with PLDT Home Fiber Unli All. Unli mobile calls. Double the speed Unli Fiber versus previous plan. And Unli Signal. Get all these for just $1399. Visit any PLDT home booth to apply. Get supercharged with PLDT Home Fiber Unli All. Unli mobile calls. Double the speed Unli Fiber versus previous plan. And Unli Signal. Get all these for just $1399. Visit any PLDT home booth to apply.
Robust Dietary Supplement for Men. Sabi nila, ang tunay na lalaki, matibay, magaling, at matigas. Samahan mo pa ng Robust. Gawa ito sa Epimedium Extra, L-Arginine, Songaria Cynomorium at GABA with proper diet and exercise. Para makasiguro, bumili sa mga Mercury Drugstores nationwide. Robust, 75 pesos SRP per tablet lamang. Robust para sa mga kalalakihan. Hatid sa inyo ng ATC Healthcare International Corporation. Mahalagang paalala, ang Robust ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
You're listening to Cool FM.
#1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Welcome back. As we continue with the special coverage of koolNews with the U.S. elections 2024, here are the results as of 12:17 p.m. Let's take a look here. For the House seats, we have 162 Republican seats for the House, while Democrats have 112 Democratic seats as we speak here. So if we go over to the next slide, we have 214 votes of Donald Trump, while Harris has 153. And it looks like the Republicans are still taking the majority of the map. For the Trump percentage, we have 52%, still the same to me here, while the Harris is 46.5%. Now, for the total amount here, for the total votes for Trump, we have 53,524,776, and for Harris is 47,878,330 votes for Kamala Harris. And for the governors tonight, we have the Republicans with 6, Democrats 2, and on-call race 3. And for the Senate tonight, we have 11 Republicans, 10 Democrats, and IND 1, and the on-call race is 12. So that's the status of the results as we are speaking right now. Now let's continue with the headlines. The Philippine economy could sustain an above 6% growth in the next 2 years, among the fastest in Southeast Asia, as its young population continues to attract more job-generating foreign direct investments to the country, HSBC Philippines said. In an interview with reporters on Tuesday, Cory Pusisima, head of markets and security service at HSBC, said gross domestic product might expand by an annualized 6.4% in 2025 before accelerating to 6.7% in 2026. If these projections come true, Purisima said the Philippines could potentially be one of the region's top performers in terms of growth. But GDP expansion would fall short of the 6.5 to 7.5% goal of the Marcos administration for 2025. Nevertheless, the growth in 2026 would settle close to the low end of the 6.5 to 8% target band of the government for that year until 2028 if HSBC's prediction comes to pass. Purisima said a key growth driver for the Philippines is its young working age population that remains attractive to job-generating foreign capital. So far, government efforts to boost clean power investments are attracting investor interest in the renewable energy sector, she added. That will continue to bring a lot of dividends for our country. What was also covered in our research is that the Philippines is actually the last to peak in terms of working age in ASEAN, and it will bring a lot of opportunities for investments in the country, Purisima said. Another source of growth for the economy, Purisima said, is its service exports, with the information technology and business process management sector, which thrived even at the height of the pandemic, seen getting a boost from digitalization. That is still a bright spot in the Philippines because our inflows from our services export has now surpassed the overseas revenues, she said. Latest data showed that the economy grew 6.3% in the second quarter, but analysts had said the figure was magnified by favorable base effects that masked the 4.6% growth in the consumption, a pace that was uncommonly low for the Philippines after inflation trimmed household spending. The government will release the third quarter GDP performance on November 7. HSBC is penciling in a 5.7% growth in the 3 months through September. For the whole 2024, the global banking giant pegged a 5.8% average expansion, a bit below the 6 to 7% target of President Marcos for this year. In the same interview, Sandeep Upal, President and CEO of HSBC Philippines, said the Philippines could achieve superstar status in Asia if it can achieve a growth that is higher than 7%. This is very aspirational, very elusive, but that's what makes us a superstar, anywhere from 7% to that double-digit number, because then it's a stand-up, Upal said. The identity of the driver and registered owner of the supposed protocol vehicle plate reserved for senators has been known on Wednesday. The owner of the plate is not a senator but a company named Orient Pacific Corporation, according to its director Omar Guinogomla. The company sincerely apologized for what happened, Guinogomla said. However, this begs the question of how the company was able to obtain and process such a special plate. When asked about this, Guinogomla said, "Right now, we are conducting an investigation as to how that happened. We will cooperate with the investigation. We will make a formal statement once we have finalized the investigation." The driver was also identified as Angelito Ipan, 52, who has been the company driver of Orient Pacific Corporation for almost 2 years. In a now viral video, the SUV driven by Ipan was seen moving in reverse as it tried to get out of the EDSA lane exclusively allotted for passenger buses, ambulance, and specific government vehicles. Before his escape, he allegedly almost ran over a traffic enforcer who had flagged it down for using the bus lane on the northbound side of EDSA in Makati City on Sunday. "I am asking for forgiveness for my mistake. I didn't want to hurt the enforcer who apprehended me," the driver claimed. And finally, as the holiday season nears, the country's unemployment rate dropped to 3.7% in September, with a notable rise in female workers joining in for the labor force, particularly in the retail industry, the Philippine Statistics Authority reported on Wednesday. Preliminary results of the PSA September round of the labor force survey showed the unemployment rate moved at its lowest pace in 3 months, or since the 3.1% in June, translating to 1.89 million jobless Filipinos. This was lower compared to the 4% jobless rate in the previous month and 4.5% last year. In September, the female labor force participation rate increased to 55.7%, up from 54.7% in August and 53.4% last year. Of this, 21 million women were employed, much higher than the 20.54 million in the previous month and 19.66 million in September 2023. The countries of LPR, the proportion of the total labor in the working age population of 15 years and old and over went up to 65.7% from 64.8% in the previous month and 64.1% a year ago. September's employment rate increased to 96.3%, up from 96% in August and 95.6% last year. In terms of level, there were 49.87 million employed Filipinos during the month, higher than 49.15 million in the previous month and 47.67 million a year ago. The underemployment rate, the share of those already working but still looking for more work or longer working hours to total employed population, increased to 11.9% from 11.2% in August and 10.7% in September 2023. This translated to 5.94 million Filipinos looking for an additional job or longer working hours. And now let's get into the international headlines, except that is not related to the US results, which we'll get into later. At a drone testing field in southwestern Taiwan, university students watch exhaustively as unmanned aerial vehicles they design take off, land, and occasionally crash in a simulated battlefield scenario. They are taking part in a competition that is helping Taiwan's efforts to boost domestic drone production. With Beijing sustaining military pressure on the island, Taipei is ramping up investment in unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, as it seeks to bolster Agao defense against a potential Chinese attack. Both Ukraine and Russia have used UAVs extensively throughout their conflict for surveillance and striking targets deep beyond front lines. The UAVs flying in the National Defense Application UAV Challenge could potentially be adopted by drone companies and procured by the government. We can see drone applications in many current conflicts happening around the world, said competition organizer Jan Shou Shi-un, a professor in the Space Systems Engineering Department at National Chiang Kung University. Taiwan is in a position where we may also face such an issue, so based on this theme, we aim to strengthen our drone capabilities. And finally, in the entertainment news, Sharon Cuneta sent Shotgun fans gushing after she dedicated a birthday greeting and even sang for her former husband and love team partner, actor Gabby Consumption. The megastar greeted Gabby by compiling clips from the recent Dear Heart show in Toronto, Canada through her Instagram page on Wednesday, November 6. In the video, the pair was seen singing Awitin Mo Isasayaw Ko while interacting with their audience. Cuneta also sang the birthday song for Gabby while on stage. Happy birthday, dear heart, Cuneta told Gabby, who then replied, thank you and thank you for the cake. Napakasarap nung cake. Cuneta and Gabby's daughter, actress Casey Consumption, was among those who admired the pair via the comment section. Casey also sent birthday love to her dad via her Instagram stories. So that's all of the headlines for koolNews at noon. And before we conclude this newscast, let's get back into the U.S. election results. All right. So as of 12:28 p.m., we have 214 votes of Trump, while Harris has 172 votes. For the Senate seats, we have 49 Republican seats and Democrat with 40 seats. And for the House, we have 168 Republican seats and 119 Democratic seats. And for the chart of the U.S. states, you can see that that majority are still Trump. Meanwhile, for the president side here, we can see we have a lot of Trump here. And yeah, again, this is a live poll, so we have 51,047,833 votes for total votes for Harris, and 56,151,357 total votes for Trump. And for the governors tonight, we have 6 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and 3 are on-call race. For the Senate, we have 11. Oh, it's a tie here. We have Democrats and Republicans, both are 11, and independent with 1. On-call race are 11. Again, we have the same thing here, which we sorry. Okay, so you can see the majority of the states are Trump, while few of the states are Harris. So that's the latest U.S. Election updates as of this time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Okay, let me just do thing here. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:30, and that is it for Cool News at Noon. Excuse me about this one here. We will return later at 4 p.m. for more news and headlines. You can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. I am Cairo, and this is Cool News, and we will once again return with the U.S. election updates later on Cool News at 4. Take care and mabuhay. Goodbye for now.